Hi, I'm Nikon Ambassador Kristi Odom. I'm a wildlife photographer and filmmaker based in Longmont, Colorado. I'm here today with B&H to give you my top 5 tips on how to photograph birds. My first tip is to do what you can to get to know your subjects. Get to know behavior, learn about the bird species, learn about how they interact with each other, and use that and see if you can bring more story into your images. It's always good to take your photo past the typical portrait and tell people something about your subjects. One thing I've noticed about bird photographers is that they sometimes flock together. My next tip is all about flocking on your own. I remember this one time I was at Huntley Meadows and there was a massive group of photographers all getting the same angle of this bird going in and out of its home. I went off to the side, I found this really unique angle, and even though I was on my own, I ended up getting this one shot where the bird just popped from the background. It ended up being a shot that I used that was published online for a story I did for National Geographic, and I was out there alongside so many different photographers. But to get those unique shots, make sure you look for those unique angles. My next tip is to respect wildlife. It is very, very important for us to make sure we do not do anything that's going to change a bird's behavior. Spend some time watching and observing, but do not call the birds to get their attention or do anything that may hurt them. If you're curious as to how to learn more about this, just research the Audubon's Guide to Ethical Bird Photography. Wildlife is beautiful and we need to love it and preserve it. That's why we're photographing it. So respect, make sure that that is the #1 thing on your mind when you're taking photographs of birds. As I'm starting to feel my first raindrops, I think that brings me to my next tip. Don't be afraid to go out if the weather starts going crazy, because some of my favorite shots of birds have been in the rain, in the snow. I love seeing how birds react when they're in the middle of a rainstorm, or when an owl looks at you and there's snow falling all around. There's something so beautiful sometimes when things aren't perfect. Embrace the rain, embrace the snow, embrace the wind, and have fun. My very last tip is all about understanding your camera and embracing new technology. I know that when I moved to DSLR to mirrorless, I tried to treat my mirrorless camera like a DSLR using the old autofocus modes. Mirrorless cameras, having more electronics, need the extra focus points. When I finally embraced the new technology and moved to dynamic focus modes, I started to realize that, wow, I'm getting a lot more photos in focus than I ever have. Now with my Z9 and its 3D tracking as well as its animal eye tracking, I'm barely missing a shot. It's quite phenomenal. As cameras get better and better, firmware also gets better and better. So make sure you update the firmware in your camera to get its best autofocus modes. And make sure you do what you can to understand what each of those modes do and how it can photograph better for you. I'm so grateful to live in such a beautiful planet with so many amazing animals that we share this world with. Those moments, like I've had so many beautiful moments in nature, watching owls grow up, watching eagles take off. I'm so grateful to have the tools to capture those moments and keep them and share them. I can't wait to see what you guys photograph. Make sure to follow me, share your images, love to see your bird shots. It's at Kristi Odom on Instagram. Also, remember that respect. The planet is stunning. Respect the wildlife. I'm an associate fellow for the International League of Conservation Photographers. I'm also a Nikon ambassador. Thank you B&H for having me. Thank you Nikon. Thank you all for being here.